going to talk to you about my featured masterpiece, what I call the Whimsy ball. And the first thing before we look at this art, I want you to know that it taught me something. This artwork taught me to be persistent. Persistent means that you are continually striving for one goal. In this case, it was to finish this Whimsy ball. So here is my artwork. And I made this many years ago, and it was really challenging. So that's all part of being persistent, is over becoming a challenge. I'm gonna tell you a little story about this piece and how I got to, create this, and also let's talk about the materials too, because that's important for you to know. The materials play a lot into being persistent, because stained glass can be kind of complicated and tricky, especially when you do stained glass like this, where it's like a puzzle. Stained glass is colored glass that is organized in a pattern or in a way to create a picture. You may see stained glass in a lot of church windows, and it's very historic in many religions because it's beauty when you see the light and when it shines through. So it plays a lot of role in even our buildings that we may see in our communities. All right, I'm gonna show you what it looks like when we hold it up to the light and a little bit closer to the camera. So I'll try to go a little slower for you. All right, so what do you notice? The colors change. The great thing about this is the material. What other materials do you notice on the Whimsy ball? It's got a little reflective pieces in it, and I'll point one out to you. Let's see if I can find one. These right here, and this is a really good example right here. It's a mirror, and mirrors are actually glass too. That's why they crack and shatter like glass, and I was able to include them in this project. The main material of the Whimsy ball, and when we work with stained glass, it isn't just the glass and the materials we use to put together, it is actually light. Because light shines through it, it bounces off of it, and it does all these things. Without the light, this project wouldn't be as attractive, right? Or successful. All right, so like I was saying, this is like a bunch of different puzzle pieces being put together. And I had to be really persistent and not give up. I had to find a way to put them all together. And you'll notice that sometimes they don't fit perfectly together. That's okay, right? It makes it really cool and really unique as an art piece. I like the little crack, and I purposely left it. I couldn't find pieces to fit in that space, but I left it because you get to see inside and what's going on inside the glass, okay? So this took a lot of time and patience. It was only my second stained glass project, believe it or not. Other stained glass is like a window. It's flat, it's not three-dimensionally. So I had someone tell me once that it's not possible to cut a circle out of stained glass and put it in pieces. Well, I decided to prove them wrong, and not only cut out and use circles, these are glass bubbles, and they're in the shape of a circle when you attach them, but I decided to make one three-dimensionally, which was a whole nother challenge. But boys and girls, because I stayed persistent and I continued my goal and my vision of my art, I was able to create this awesome piece. And now it's displayed in my artwork, and it reminds me of being persistent art. That's really important as an artist. No matter what people tell you, always, try it, because you never know if it does or does not work until you actually do it. All right, so this is my Whimsy ball material or masterpiece, and I'm happy that I was able to share it with you today. Remember, be persistent.